Hi everyone. Today is a tutorial on Campagnoli's Caprice number 20. This one is similar to number 19, which I just did, in that it is a little bit more etude. It's very focused on two specific techniques, which are bowing and position work. So we're gonna just dive right in, but please check out the original engraving to follow along with. The Primrose edition has some different bowings for this. And the other thing is you can check out my resources on the Campagnoli project.com, and the full performance is also linked below. For this one, we start out with no slurs. That is different than in the Primrose edition, so just take note of that. And a little bit of a détaché stroke. Sorry, I messed up that the slurring there, but so when we get into the we're staying right in the middle of the bow and that balance point to get sort of the détaché staccato stroke. Don't get too spiky with it because that'll just make it really hard for you to get back into the slurs. And then as we ramp up the slurs, you're gonna have to conserve more on the slur part, and then sort of exaggerate some of the single notes. So measure 5, again, you have down bow and then up bow for the slurs, so you're still good with just conserving your bow. I take that back. You have down bow slurs, so you're gonna be compensating for that, right? And bringing yourself back to the frog, right? So I'm staying in the lower half, and I'm always getting back to that frog, so that I can spend as much time on the slurs without crunching them too much. Okay, then we get into some positions. So now we're on second position. Same thing here, but now you have the slur on an up bow, so you're going to be positioning your bow to get out to the tip a little bit. So spending a lot on the down bow right before that slur, and getting into the upper half, so that you're always going back to that balance point where you can bounce. Okay, and then we get into third position. We're still pretty comfortable in our left hand. Here I'm really compressing the slurs and making the staccatos a little bit more spiky. Fourth position, now we're gonna come around a little bit. If you haven't done a lot of position work, this is where you have to start coming around your instrument and working around it a little bit. So if you're not comfortable with fourth position, please take the slurs out and just work on that. You can even play just a scale, right? Just to work on. You can do an A major scale if you want, just to get familiar with that. So coming around with your elbow. Now the slur, that's a whole nother thing, right? Because here we have 5 notes slurred, 1 note separate. So you're compressing the slur again and really ski jumping with your bow back to the frog. So it's a combination up bow and retake at the same time. Okay, so fifth position, finally, we just get a nice big slur. That makes it easy for the right hand. as you get to the tip and you get to the higher register on the viola, increase your bow speed. Your higher notes need more speed and less pressure. Your lower notes need more pressure and less speed. So you're going to be sort of doing a bow crescendo to the tip. Now we're coming around a little bit more. Here's where I stick my thumb under the neck, and I'm just going to leave it there. You'll see for the rest of the positions. I don't want to bring it out here unless I'm going way into really high positions. So here's sixth position. There's my C. So do you see how much bow I'm using by the time I get to the upper register? And you can give a little accent at the beginning of each bow. That kind of helps you stay really rhythmic and just kind of get your traction with the bow. And now landing into seventh position, we're all the way up here. So still hooking my thumb, right? I'm not gonna really do much in the way of maneuvering now. My fingers are gonna have to do a little bit more gymnastics up here, especially my first finger. Let's see, I have to find this, okay. Okay, so first finger is flexible. You can watch it this way. So sometimes it's curving a little bit more. Cut your nails. If you feel like you're playing on your fingernails at all, this is obviously a bad place to be doing that. With the bow, fast, slow. And did you notice that as I get to these high positions, I'm staying out toward the tip, and really instead of going to the frog like I was in the lower positions where the C string needed that weight, now I'm going to the tip. And then here we get to stay, right? So, sorry. So there, a big up bow to get yourself to that C. But generally, we're going to be staying up in the higher part of the bow toward the tip, and then working our way back down a little bit as we get lower. So we're always going to be extending our fourth finger for this finger pattern as we inch our way down the fingerboard now. And the bowing is going to switch from down, starting down bow one measure and then starting up bow the next measure and back and forth. So don't get thrown off by that. That's what he intended. Sorry, need to practice this one more. So exaggerate those bowings. Dum, bum, right? That's what we want to hear, is the inching down. That's the meat of this section, right? So you do that with your bow. For the left hand, just practice those shifts, right? Notice whether you have a whole step or a half step going down. Basic, I know, but it really does help with the intonation, just knowing how far you actually have to shift. And then also, if you noticed, I wasn't connecting the the shifting notes. I was separating them so that we don't hear that slide there. So we separate those notes as we go down. Then at the end, I wasn't using a lot of vibrato in this one because I want to make sure my intonation is really pure. And I would suggest, unless you're playing this for a competition or something along those lines where the judges may wonder where your vibrato went or whether you can do it, if you're just practicing this for yourself or doing your own performance where you can do what you want, I would say leave the vibrato out as much as you can, because then you can really focus on your pure intonation and your pure sound. Sometimes we use vibrato as a crutch, so I would suggest in this one it's a little less expressive. Just go for the really Paganini style of it and keep it very pure. There are going to be some other tutorials coming out. I have I think number 13 and one other one on the roster. So and some re-records coming up too, starting with Caprice number 1 and going through about number 12. And so subscribe to my channel so you can keep updated. There's going to be a lot of stuff coming out about once a week. So I hope this helped, and I'll see you next time.